am late. I had to actually. I'm putting on the DKK. Wanted to kind of promote what we're trying to do with the counterculture. But I want to thank whoever's watching this right now and who will be. One second. All right. Uh, and I want to thank whoever's watching this and will be watching this on the replay. I was supposed to do this at 1 o'clock, and I had wrote the description out and everything, and something happened where it didn't get recorded, so I couldn't do it at 1. So here I am. It's 3:30, past 3:30 New York time. So what I want to do is kind of go over some points that are in the description. Resist, restore, rebuild, raising our girls, part two. And I want to talk about what exactly we're resisting. I'm going to read off of my. I'm going to be reading off of the 7 points that we're going to try to feature. Okay, hold on a second. Me and okay. So, okay, so a few things that I want to discuss today, and then I'm actually gonna be reading off of this, and maybe we can have a discussion if anybody, if we can get people to show. If not today, we're gonna be doing these videos the next 3 weeks. Resist, restore, rebuild. Today is resist, and because of the time mix up, what happened, what we're going to do is probably have more of a discussion and have more people available next week. Okay. So anyway, what are we resisting? When we say resist, restore, and rebuild. Okay, what we are resisting is a false identity. What we want to resist is a false identity that we seem to have with our young women nowadays. And that false identity, it seems that our girls and young women have forgotten or have never been educated on their true history and identity. And that goes beyond their contemporary lives and identity. Basically, we're not teaching our young girls, our young black girls, their true history. I'm talking generally, the true history, identity, heritage, and everything that comes with that. And now we have this kind of warped sense. Young women have a warped sense of who they are, and we really need to start teaching that. And I'm going to also post places below underneath this description of where we can start the re-education process of our young women as women of beautiful young women of African descent. Okay, so 2, we have a false sense of esteem, a false sense of self-esteem. A lot of times we find people that are doing it for the gram and or likes to boost egos and or make one feel better about oneself, which is the very opposite of self-esteem. Being in this social media age, and that's going to push a lot of what we're talking about today, it gives our young women a false sense of who they are, and that they need external validation to make them feel better about themselves and identify who they are. So we need to really address that. All right. We also have this false sense of love related to this, and this is related to the second point. It goes without saying that love begins within and shouldn't be validated externally. You know, we see that a lot with our young girls and women. That's very, 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 very telling with our young women, and that is something that we need to really address. That you need an outstanding sense, or you need an external sense of who you are, in order to, feel self-actualized. And that goes without saying. You should know who you are and love who you are from within. Okay, but we have this false sense that's reinforced by social media. 4, now we're going to stay a lot on social media trends because that's a big, big problem in our community. Social media trends, at the crux of many of our young women's and girls' issue is social media, and again seeking external validation, be it the latest challenge to again doing it for the gram or TikTok or Twitters or other platforms. The trends, these unhealthy trends, almost always involve self-objectification, The Busset Challenge, the Bugs Bunny Challenge are a couple examples of that. Rarely are they true about empowerment and unity, academic excellence, dealing with past or present trauma. But then again, that is the problem of trends. Trends come and go. As I mentioned last week, there's nothing ever really permanent about trends, and we really need to get away from social trends because not only most of the time are they negative, but they're never ongoing. And I think that's a real big issue that we'll address next time as well. Okay. Okay. Now, this is a very important point as well. We have this thing of cultural values imposed by others. This is truly quite loaded, but frankly, many of our parents have dropped the ball on teaching our girls and young women our true history and cultural values, and it's this loss of momentum of memory that stains everything. Brother, there's a brother historian, Dr. Greg Carr, that talks a lot about this, the losing the momentum of memory. A lot of us, the further we get away from the lash, the more we accept the trash, it seems. And our people are not being taught. And our young girls and young boys, of course, a lot of this applies to young men as well, aren't being taught what we went through as a people, how to get to this point, and even, honestly, what we still go through as a people. And it's this losing of our cultural, our cultural history and our cultural values, what is and is not, what should and should not be, and really realizing that we're a nation that everything that we do, even like black girl, black excellence, black girl magic. What do all these things mean when it's not in service of something bigger? We want to resist this whole individualism that doesn't really serve the individual for our young women and doesn't serve our families and doesn't serve our community. But we seem to have lost that because we've accepted this colonized, Europeanized sense of what is valued and what is valuable. So we got to really talk about that. We're gonna address this when the more that I do these videos, the more we're gonna be addressing this from a sense of history and some of the things that we can tap into online, and a lot of that's gonna be through K narrative and narrative. Okay, now tied to this also is a colonial sense of beauty. Even in 2021, our young women and girls are still teased, made fun of, and are presented with a European sense of beauty, despite being the OG original goddess and the most beautiful in the world. We really got to put across as people of African descent, black people, that we are beautiful people. And you could say that it is opinion whether we are the most beautiful people. But if you don't see your value, and if you don't see that you actually are, I'm just gonna say it, the most beautiful in the world, you've already lost because you're gonna think somebody's more beautiful than you individually and collectively, and this is one way where we've lost. We still have in Africa and various places where women are lightening their skin. We still have this sense of not accepting our hair, and if we're dark skinned, accepting our darker skin tone. And this is a serious problem with our young people and our older people. Um, and, thankfully, I don't think that we're doing the surgeries to alter how we look and things of that nature. But still, we have this sense being pushed at us. We still have this sense that your natural curves and that your natural beauty is not the top of the line. And this is why you still see a lot of women wearing these contacts, and these wigs and these weaves. I'm not saying all, but we just see way too much of that in our community when our hair and our beautiful and our skin and our body tones and our body, in the ways our bodies as sculpture is beautiful. So this can be really problematic for our young women. And finally, body image, which is also part of the colonial sense of beauty. Our bodies being our temples are supposed to be just that, but in today's world, influenced by the media, both social and traditional, and again, a European sense and standard of beauty is being pushed on our girls and young women, as well as a thought stripper culture, when in reality, our girls and our young women are not their bodies, but social and cultural pressure pushes otherwise. So those are 7 points that I've come up with that I think we can probably add on to. We can add on to what does it mean to be successful? What does it mean to be smart? What does it mean to be beautiful? What does it mean to promote group unity and unity as a people? Very, very important things that we really need to really start discussing. And to me, I've seen that sense being lost on our young women. I also see that our families, we don't. A lot of our friends don't always. Hey, what's happening? Um, that we seem to be getting away from our sense of family. And this has been a problem for a long time, where our girls value family, or value their friends over their family, and definitely over their community. And this is something that we have to fight against, and we have to really say that everything starts with self, family, and then community. Those have to be the three prerequisites for our young women, and we have to resist everything that's against that. What's up, Candy? How you doing, sister? Thank you for watching. Thank everyone that's gonna be watching on the replay. I started this video about 11 minutes ago. I'm not gonna be too much longer, but yeah, yes, it is sad, but I mean, it's something that we can still reverse. You know what I'm saying? We can draw on to a lot of positive things that are happening in our community. As I mentioned last week, the sister that won the spelling bee, I mean, she's multi-talented. We have successful young black girls that are exemplifying black excellence. Um, we do have to find, the young women that are out here that are doing, and the parents that are out here that are doing positive things, and start highlighting them. The problem is they aren't highlighted enough. You know what I'm saying? Um, but we have to really start to raise and stop lowering our young women, and I think that's a big issue. Um, so these are good examples. I was just thinking of Simone Biles, as well as the other sister, Naomi Osaka. Um, we should support these young women, and the pressure that they're always under. And mental health, they're really exemplifying the importance of mental health. And mental health doesn't just mean a therapist sitting on the couch and listening to a therapist. Mental health is a lot of things and can come in a lot of ways to help our young women. But I think one thing we have to do is take away this whole thing of sadness, and really realize that it's a war that we're in, and then we got to start winning hearts and minds, and really equipping ourselves to fight back. And that's the next topic of the next video that I'm going to do on Tuesday, will be the restore. How do we restore our young women, to their rightful place? And part of the restoration process, I think, is for us to regain the momentum of memory, how great we were at one point, and how it wasn't just about the excellence part, even though excellence was a real good part of it, but it was like you had these examples of powerful black women that were doing it. They weren't doing it for the ground. They were doing it for themselves, their families, and our communities. Very, very important. It seems like we've forgotten the our community part. So that's what we really want to start pushing and putting out there. And even more than being treated like kings and queens, is to start thinking in terms of gods and goddesses. That's what we were originally. We're the original gods and goddesses of this planet, the original beautiful people on this earth. How do we get back to that posture? How do we get back to tapping into our God energy? And basically, the God energy and the God spirit is our women and our young men being the best that they can be, as well as ourselves, and always reaching to our highest self. And this is something that can also be done. But yes, we have to fight this whole thought culture. You know, um, and the thought culture is also part of the stripper culture. I mentioned this in the description. I got to edit down some of the description so we can get beyond that. So how do we start to also really address that? high heels, twerking, this busset challenge. What's the other challenge I mentioned? The Bugs Bunny challenge, where basically these young women look like damn strippers, and this is the end thing. So I think we have to replace that with something better, and hopefully together we'll get more people on these streams. We'll get more people talking, and we can really come up with some real strong solutions. But what we have to do is really talk about how the present culture is not helpful to our young women, and it really objectifies our young women. Our young women objectify themselves by following these trends, but it's something that we have to stay calm about. It's something that we have to stay focused about. We have to understand that we have a history and we have a culture, and that we have examples of what it really means to be uh, a self-actualized black woman, a self-actualized. If you want to say queen, that's fine. Princess, queen. I like to say goddess. How do we bring about that? We had music before. We had our Lauryn Hills, we had our Aretha Franklin, we had our Nina Simone's. We've had other fighters like Asada Shakur. If you want to go back, Queen Nzinga, that fought the Portuguese to a standstill in Angola. Queen Hatshepsut in Egypt, Kemet. But are we really teaching our young girls about our heroes and our sheroes? I don't think so. Not largely, or not large enough. And that means that we as parents and that we as adults in our community have to start teaching, and we also have to start modeling what it means to be you know, a man and a woman and examples. We got to start living and giving love and really start just turning the tide. So yes, knowledge is definitely power, and knowledge should be the high point of everything. But unfortunately, it's not. We live in a culture in a country that really doesn't, really push that. And I really see a big part that social media is playing to our detriment in terms of our young women and our young men not really learning and knowing who they are. So we got these are things that we can fight. These are things that I'm here going to be doing every Tuesday and every Friday. No, every Tuesday we're going to be talking about, how do we rescue our young people. We're starting off this month dealing with our young women, and then in September we're going to be dealing with our young men. you know, um, so every Tuesday at 12 noon, we're gonna be on time next week. We'll be talking about this issue, and also every Friday we're gonna be talking about Black love. And so just remember Tuesday and Fridays. And thank you, Candy. If I wish I had more time to talk about people faking the funk on social media. How much time do we have? If I had more time, we would go on that. But yeah, social media is the fakest place that there is right now. So I think we have to kind of go to war on that, And I think that we'll win, as long as we got sisters like you, as long as we got people that, have children and that care about the community. We're going to be small in the beginning. Okay, we're going to be small right now. We're not going to be in the majority at all. In fact, I got this shirt. It's called Fully Vaccinated. Shoot, a lot of people don't agree with that still, even though there's ample evidence about vaccines, which I'm not going to talk about right now, but definitely in the minority. I'm actually banned from Facebook because I confronted anti-vaxxer that was basically making fun of someone that had that has COVID, and someone that's still in the COVID ward right now. She's in her mid 40s, and she has a daughter that caught it, and they can't even go visit her. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother thing under misinformation that I'm going to be doing some videos on, and I'm really, I don't want to say I'm scared, but I know I'm going to lose some people behind that. But I'm glad that you're vaccinated, and anybody else that's vaccinated, because I want y'all to live. I want y'all to be safe. And yeah, it's gonna be required. I live in New York City, and they're gonna require it. I believe they're gonna start enforcing it in September, but they're gonna start requiring it I believe in 2 or 3 weeks, which I don't have a problem with. And I don't think a lot of people will have problems with because in New York City, the last time I checked, I believe almost 70% of people are fully vaccinated or have had at least one vaccination. And I'm cool with it. I got my card with me. I carry it everywhere. I'm cool with it. I just, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get any symptoms. I don't want to lose my sense of taste. I don't want to. I don't want to die. I had an uncle that passed away. They sent him home from when he was sick, and then when he came back, he went right to the ventilator and he died. And yeah, it's just yeah. But anyway, that's not even the discussion right now. Um, but look forward to that. It's gonna be called Beyond Misinformation, and we'll be talking about that. So anyway, go to my description. I'm gonna put a link down below of a place where we can uh, really start the restoration process and how we can resist thought culture, European culture, stripper culture, and every other negative thing that our young women are exposed to right now. So it's going to be next Tuesday. We're going to do part three, which is the restoration of our young girls and young women, and that's going to be a good one as well. There's going to be a lot of knowledge on that. Friday, stay tuned for Black Love, the first part. How do we get back to restoring our Black love? Resist, restore, and rebuild Black love. 12 p.m. EST, 12 noon on Friday, this Friday. And I will be on time. I've already got the description underneath of kind of the outline of what that live stream will be about. And I want to thank Candy and everybody else that will be watching on the stream for watching this video. And thank you. And I apologize. It was supposed to be 2.5 or 3 hours ago, but I had some more technical difficulties. And yeah, I'm going to put some better notifications out. Like I said, I'm banned on Facebook right now, but I'm on Instagram, and you can still post to your public page on Instagram. So stay tuned, and we'll put out more information. And I love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. I also have some very positive t-shirts on Black women, Black love, anti being getting vaccinated, Black and vax, that I'll be putting out real soon. So look forward to that as well, because I'm looking to, definitely have more time and money to do these videos, rent out office space, which I have right now, to really just start getting some truth and love back into our community as well as power. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Candy. I will definitely be safe, vaxxed up, double masked up, and not taking no chances on these crazy people that choose not to. I love you guys, and thank you guys for the support. Thank you, Candy. Love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day, and we'll talk again. Stay tuned to my community page as well. Love y'all. Peace.